Tom. So the boy I'd like to couple up with is Shaq. One.
This episode was messy, 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 messy. Okay, I understand the fallout from the beer pong game, but the recoupling was shocking to say the least. Hey there, thanks for stopping by. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and leave a like and a comment. It's your girl Valerie. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island, season 9, episode 4. Oh my god, I don't even know where to start. I always say I don't know where to start, but I don't know where to start in this episode. So obviously, it's a continuation of the fallout. We have um, Islanders still trying to process what happened. I think the producers, after the fallout, immediately ran in and tried to sort of resolve and calm things down. And this is why people that had a conflict as a result of the beer pong game were immediately seen sitting down. I don't think it was appropriate for Harris and Shaquille to sit down and talk because they're on two different maturity levels, as Shaq was saying that. Harris is very immature, and you can tell by the way he behaves and the way he talks. I have to agree with him. I think they should have brought someone to be a mediator. They should have brought maybe Ron or some, or even Kai to sort of sit in between the guys. Because yes, I understand what Harris was saying that you should have told me that not now, but still at the same time, you don't need someone to tell you to read the room and sort of know when to say what you want to say. You should be able to sort of self-mediate or self-regulate. And so I was offended when he said to Shaquille, "I don't need you to dad me," and it's like he's not dadding you. He's just telling you you need to behave differently. It's inappropriate for you to make certain comments when you know they're going to cause an argument amongst people that you're living with and people you're staying with. And for him to say, "I've got a dad," well, then I think you need to go home and have a conversation with your dad. And even if your dad were to have a conversation, he'll tell you that you were wrong. It wasn't necessary. This is someone that you consider to be a friend. There was no need for you to do that to your friend. Anyway, nothing was resolved. They walked away, which I think they should have slept on it. I know boys normally are quick to sort of sort things out, but this wasn't the time or the place. Everyone was still heated. And then Tanya, she knows she's the reason why Shaq is upset. And then she's busy sitting, chilling there, going, "You need to chill out. People need to chill." It's like, if that were me, I would have gone to Shaq and sort of taken him aside and sort of said, "Can we sit here and just be quiet for a second?" And then once he sort of calmed down, then they could have had a conversation. I don't understand as well because Zara was now stuck in a situation whereby she had upset Olivia without intending to upset Olivia. I don't think she meant it to be malicious. As you said, she said it Olivia on the cheek because she thought Olivia was the one who would who would be least likely to be offended. And it was good that at least she had another bombshell. She had David that she came in with, so she was able to have a conversation with David. Um, Olivia, I think, was in her feelings in the sense that she went for Kai. Kai turned moved on to somebody else. She went for Tom, and Tom doesn't really seem keen in her. And now I think she's now looking around to say, who else can I go for? I know they sat down, had a conversation with Tom, and she was sort of explaining how she felt about Tom kissing Zara after Zara had kissed him and how that sort of played out. And it's like, you're really not feeling Tom. So why are you that offended? You shouldn't be in your feelings that much. You should just take it as it is, in the sense that yes, you're in a couple with him, but you're also entertaining Harris at the same time. So make it make sense. Are you really, if you're in a couple with him and you're saying you're 100% focused on him and nobody else, then it would make sense you being that upset. There's no need for you to be that upset. I think Tom should have been honest with her as well and told her that he wasn't feeling her. And it's sad, but it seemed everybody was encouraged to have a plan B. So everybody had a second partner that they were dangling along because Tanya then went and sat down with David and was telling David, "I'm still open, I'm still interested in getting to know you." And it's like, but during the beer pong game, you kissed him and you said after 20 seconds, you knew it wasn't it. So how have you gone from that to suddenly saying to him, "I still want to explore things"? Let him know that, there is a possibility I might go with Shaq. That way he tries to at least entertain some of the other girls and see if he can build a connection, even though most of the girls didn't seem that keen on him anyway, didn't seem interested. I think the only person that was entertaining him was Tanya. And I'm going to ask this question: are bombshells not allowed to sort of form a connection amongst themselves? This is something I don't understand because he could have easily grafted Zara instead of wasting his time on Tanya, but hey, it is what it is. Zara, on her part, approaches Lana and Ron to have a conversation, and Ron lets her know that, I'm really not feeling it. I want to pay 100% attention to Lana and see how that goes. And it's like, I think he said that because he knew there was competition and he didn't want his feelings to be hurt and he wanted to secure a place for himself with Lana. That's why he told Zara no. I think had Zara not been entertaining Tom on the side and had he not seen that they might be forming a connection, I think he would have still been going between sort of Zara and Lana. But I think because Ron saw that maybe Zara's connection with Tom was stronger, this is why he decided to appear like, oh, I'm focusing all my attention on Lana. I don't think it was genuine. So then he then goes to Lana. They have a conversation and sort of agree that they're going to be focused on each other. They share their first kiss, and it's like, okay, I don't know how far that will go. Kai is another one who's also playing games because Kai, when he's with Anime, he tells Anime, I'm happy with you. I'm comfortable with you. Tennille is all about the drama. I don't want Tennille. I want you. And I think if Kai had been asked to pick, chances are he would have picked Anime. I think he likes Anime. Out of all the three girls who picked him on day one of coupling, I think Anime is the one he likes. And so I think he's grafting her, but he's also trying to drag along Tennille just in case and not cause drama with Tennille because I think he can see drama forming with her. Um, and then the islanders go to sleep. It was cute though how Will sort of had a conversation and said, you should never go to bed upset. We all need to, and he was right to say we need to talk it out, but I don't think it was the right time because I don't think anyone was in the right frame of mind to sort of entertain anything. I know Olivia and Zara had a conversation, and Zara let it be known that she meant no offense, even though Olivia was still in her feelings, and she said, "Oh, I felt she wanted to embarrass me." It's like, why would she want to embarrass you though? I don't think so. She was just asked who's two-faced. You say it takes you a while to sort of open up, but you know, maybe she misunderstood you. Maybe it was just a misunderstanding on both parts. So then the islanders receive a text message the following day that we are going to have a recoupling. And so the grafting is very obvious. You can tell some people are just saying certain things just so they don't, you know, one of the girls sort of eats up whatever they're selling and is able to pick them. Because I remember Kai was telling Tennille, "Oh, you're very beautiful. I like being with you. I think we have an opportunity to explore and become something bigger than we are." And then he went to Anime and said the same thing. The same thing with Ron. He was going to Lana and saying exactly the same thing. And then it was surprising how out of the blue, Will suddenly approached Lana and said, even though Lana told him that he was more a friend than anything, he approached Lana and told her, how would you feel about us sharing a bed? And it's like, where did that come from? Where did that come from? Because I think the producers had people that they wanted to stay and people that they were not concerned about if they went home. And I think Harris and Will are in a position where the producers wanted to save them. So most likely David was the one going home. And I think Tanya was the one left with the decision of choosing who went home between David and Shaquille. And I think one of those two guys was the ones that they were expected to go home. I don't think they expected anyone else to go home. So they get to recoupling, and you could see how shady it was right off the jump when they said that Anime was the first person to choose because Anime then went and chose Kai, which was obvious because she even said it that I've you're the person who had my eye right from the jump, and because he's the first person she chose on the very first day, so it wasn't surprising that she chose him at recoupling. And so he, I think, inside was happy, but didn't want to show to Neil that he was happy. But you could tell he was excited because as soon as he turned his back to um to Tanil, he was smiling. I don't know. We'll see what happens when it's time for them to go to bed. And then next up, after the coupling was Zara. Zara, it was obvious she wasn't going to choose Ron because Ron had shut her down. So the only other option was Tom. And I think Olivia knew she was going to choose Tom. because, and I like the fact that she made it known that, I am choosing this person because they've been welcoming and they've made it obvious to me that they're interested in forming something stronger. And so she chose Tom, which to me as a couple it makes sense. It makes sense. She went for someone who was interested in her. She didn't do the Danica thing of choosing someone who had told her no. So she didn't choose Ron, but she chose someone who had told her he was open to getting to know her and was interested in exploring things with her, which I definitely give her credit for. Olivia, I think Olivia, because she had been floating between Tom and Harris, she knew Tom wasn't really that into her. So it made sense that she picked Harris. Because I think had she gone first, I don't think she would have picked Tom. I think chances are she would still have picked Harris. I didn't see as much of their conversations to make sense to me as to why she chose him. But hey, it is what it is. She chose Harris. And then Tanya. Tanya stood up and it was for me, I was a bit nervous, but I was 75% sure that she was going to pick Shaquille because she's already said she didn't feel anything when she kissed David. It was really sad that David ate whatever she was selling him and didn't bother to look around to anybody else. And so when she said, she was choosing this person because he had made it known to her that he was interested in her, it was obvious it was Shaq. It was obvious it was Shaq. And so she chose Shaq, and David's heart broke because you could see his head bow. And it's really sad that he wasted his time and allowed someone to manipulate him. And now he's going home, which is really sad. And then so that left David, Ron, and Will. And I think the way it was set up, the recoupling was set up in a way that Will didn't go home because had Tennille been the first one to pick, she would have picked Kai, which would have left Anime with sort of in a bind as to who she could pick. Because then when Tennille stood up, it was only Will, Ron, and David left. I know David did try to have a conversation with her and try to say, I'm trying to get to know you, blah, blah, blah. I think she should have chosen David. I think Will should have gone home or Harris should have gone home. I think she would have had a better chance with David than she has with Ron because Kai is interested in anime, Ron is interested in Lana, and she's picked Ron. I think she should have picked David. I think she should have had a better chance had she picked David or Will. I don't think Ron was the best person for her to choose. Will chose Ron. I know they've had conversations where they were joking and laughing, and I'm surprised that even though Ron told Sarah that he was closed, I don't know why he didn't tell Tennille that he was closed. I don't know whether he was having conversations that weren't shown where he was making it known that he was interested in getting to know her. And you could see Lana's heartbreak because she had closed herself to everybody else. And so when it came to time to choose, I think she only chose Will because she hadn't had any conversations with David, so didn't know where David stood. And I think so she chose the person she's most comfortable with, even though she's already told Will that there'll never be anything romantic between them. It's more a friendship couple. I think the coupling was very messy. I think it was very messy. I don't know why the producers did it that way. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Bye everyone.